Hello everyone. This video we are about to record is about Dynamics 365 plugins. The plugins are a feature from Dynamics 365 that allow us to extend the functionality of the plugin. We can use assemblies to actions and operations on Dynamics. I wrote a post on my blog about this, okay, so you can check it out. So now we are going to share to open Visual Studio, okay? And here is the main screen of Visual Studio. We can open a recent project or we can get started here. I'm going to get started here, cloning a repository. And then I'm going to check GitHub. After that, I'm going to check out, I'm going to clone Cyrus repository is this class, and I'm gonna change the location to this one. Sorry, I put it in the wrong directory. Now it's okay. I clone it. It's cloning now. It's an empty repository now. So we're gonna put our first project there. Here is Visual Studio. Okay, I'm gonna enlarge this screen. And then I'm gonna add a new solution. Add new project. The project template that we are going to use is classlibrary.net framework. Is the template used for plugins, okay? You are going always to use this one. Then I'm going to put the project name. This plugin we're going to do is an email validation plugin. So this is going to be email validation plugin. Not .NET framework, gonna live this way. So now I have here email validation plugin. I'm gonna change this from files to solution view, okay? Here, now it's okay. Now I'm gonna remove this class one live CS because we're not going to use it. And then we are going to open the CS project. Okay, now we are gonna create a new class. Add new item, CS class, C sharp class. So now I'm gonna put email validation plugin. Okay, I'm gonna change this to email validation plugin. And this I'm going to remove. I'm going to put a namespace here. Let's say Sarah's training dot plugin. Okay, so now we are going to need to reference the uh, we're going to need to reference the the Microsoft CRM SDK DLL. Okay, so we are going to. I'm gonna close this because this is not a project view. Okay, this is a file view. No, I didn't add on the solution. Sorry. Let me go. Here is our class. Here is our class. The namespace is here. The public class is here. So now we are going to go to the project and go to manage Nuggets packages. We are going to wait till it opens. There we go. We needed a solution. So here is Microsoft CRM SDK Core Assemblies. This is the Nuggets package with the Microsoft CRM SDK DLL, okay, which is the DLL that we are going to need to instantialize the plugin, okay? So I'm going to get the latest version. I'm going to install it. Okay, it is installed. Now, what do I need to do? I need to go here and extend this. to I plugin. See? As soon as I do that, there's an error here. See, email validator doesn't implement iPlugin execute service provider method. So this method here is what we call what goes into when the execution occurs. I'm gonna copy this and I'm going to explain to you. So here is the code of our plugin, okay? So this is the public execute. When so the point is when you build a plugin, you hook a plugin to an operation, an update of an record, a create of a record, a create of a relationship or something like that, of a qualify of a lead, a win opportunity, a lowest opportunity, something that happens in the CRM. And when that thing happens, it triggers the plugin. And when it triggers the plugin, it enters this method here. Okay, so this method here is very important. Every plugin has this method. Okay, so here initialize the context, okay, because I'm gonna get the targets. See, context input parent contain targets and its entity, and and I initialize the target entity here. So all the content of the this parameter is now in this variable. Let me explain to you. When you save a form and record on the Dynamics 365, it gets all the fields and wrap up in an entity, a class type entity, an object called entity. That entity is inside the parameter targeted. So if you fill the email address, for instance, then you should get email address in the target entity. Okay, that's it. Here is wrong email address one. This is the logical name, okay? This is the name inside the field. When we have exhibition name, plural name, and name, this is the name, okay? This is the logical name, okay? So here, if target contains email address, if the object initialized in the input parameter target has a field called email address, it goes here and get the value of the email address. Okay, there are a lot of ways of doing this. This is one of the way. The other way we do like this. It's the same thing. Okay, that's the same thing. What is the advantages of using this? It has validation. If this goes new, this throws an error. This doesn't throw an error if it's new, okay? Because this checks, this contains checks if a field is inside the target entity, but it doesn't check the value of the field. So if a dummy programmer put a field no value inside the target entity, this field contains will return true because it contains the field with a new value. Okay, and that's the point. So this is the I think this is the best way. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it this way. Then it goes to the function that validates the email with the email pattern. Okay, this is a regular expression. You must be familiar with this. If you're not, look in Google or something like that. But it's very easy. Okay, so this is C sharp. So if not is valid email, throw an error. Invalid mail address format. Please provide a valid mail address. Okay, so when this is thrown, a pop-up will show in the screen. Business process error. Invalid email address format. Please provide the valid mail address. And the user will not be available, will not be able to save the record, okay, until he corrects this error. This is the advantage. What is the advantage of doing a plugin besides a JavaScript? A JavaScript, you can also validate the email, for instance. But the difference is when you do a plugin, you're doing the server side. So if you're doing the server side, every time a record is created, if the trigger is the record creation, it will validate the email in this case. Okay, so if you do import, if you do a workflow, if you do a custom code that creates the record, whatever you do, it will trigger the plugin. The JavaScript is only triggered in the form. Only when user is inputting the values is when the JavaScript is triggered. Okay, that's the main difference. I wrote a post in my blog about the differences between plugins and JavaScript. If you may check, it is a great post. Okay, so this is the code. This is ready. So we have the context. In the context, we have the target. The target has the fields like email address, and the email address has a value, and the value is validated. Okay, so this is concluded. This is necessarily end. So we build, it's built, and then we need to put in the 365 environment. Okay, to put in the D365 environment, we're gonna need plugin registration. Okay, plugin registration is a Microsoft tool to publish plugins. Okay, I'm not going to cover the installation of the plugin registration on this video because this will make this video very long. I'm gonna cover this in a separate video and I'll put in my blog, okay? And I'll put everything so far so you can know about this, okay? So I'm gonna open plugin registration here. Just a second. This is plugin registration. This is on my other clients. So I'm gonna close it. So the first thing I open plugin registration is click create new connection. Then what do I do? I go to this. I if it's over here, you click here option 365, and then you remove. You're probably not going to get value. Okay, this is because I previously connected to another instance. So now I'm gonna put my credentials, and I'm going to provide the region. The region here I know is Brazil. Okay, so it's South America. But if you don't know, you put don't know and it looks all regions and it's already fine, okay? I'm gonna leave I don't know. And then I check this to see all the organizations available. Okay, not only the productive organization. Okay, now it's connecting. I need to approve. I'm gonna approve in my telephone. Okay. It's connecting. So here are all the assemblies registered on my instance. Okay, be very careful if you change anything or remove anything or do something that's not you done, that will be a problem. Okay, it's especially in this Microsoft Dynamics something plugins. Okay, assemblies, sorry. So I'm gonna go to register new assembly. I'm gonna search for the DLL file. So here is the assembly, here is the plugin. Okay, if you have more than one class, it will show here all the classes. Okay, no problems. So here, if I want sandbox or not, I usually do. And this is if it's in the database on the gag. The gag is not showing here because of the screen size. I usually do database. Yeah. The assembly does not contain a key file. This is an issue, okay? I forgot about this. We need to sign the assembly, okay? So, to sign the assembly, to create a key file, we go to the project, go to properties, go to signing, sign the assembly, new, and you put a name. For instance, email, validation, key file. Could be any name, doesn't matter. And if you want to protect our password, you put the password here. If you protect the password, be very careful because you need to remember this password. If you don't remember, you cannot recover the DLL. Okay, this is very crucial. So this for this example, I'm not going to protect the assembly. So now it created a SNK here, okay? This is the key file that is needed. So I'm gonna change this to release because I always like to publish in release. Okay, already reviewed it. I'm going to open plugin registration again. I'm gonna change from debug to release. It's already here. Register the plugin. Okay, the plugin is already registered. Email validation plugin is already here, okay? Sarah training plugin, email validation plugin. It's here. So now I need to hook the DLL with the action. I'm gonna hook register new step. To hook to an action, you create a new step. You register a new step. So what is the message? The message is create. What the primary entity? Primary entity is account. The second entity is none. Usually none, okay? Here is the pipeline as its stage of execution. There are three pipeline stages of execution: pre-validation, pre-operation, and post-operation. This is when the thing is going to be called, when the plugin is going to call, before the validation of the data, before of the operation of the database, or after the operation on the database. I usually use after the operation of the database. I only use pre-operation if I want to change a field of the record. If I want to change a field of the record, I use pre-operation. I'm going to show you why in a post video, okay? But use now post operation. Register step. He says he alarms me that I didn't put any attributes. I didn't put any attributes on the filtering attributes. This is why it is an issue because every time a attribute is changed, the plugin is going to be called. Okay, this is not good. Okay, but for now it's okay. So the plugin is registered, the step is registered, everything is okay. So now